lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly.
The basketball world has been rocked by a scandal involving two of the biggest names in the game, Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark. What started as just another intense matchup turned into an incident that has left fans and players reeling. Alyssa Thomas, known for her dominance on the court and her relentless energy, now finds herself at the center of a controversy. The seasoned player has been suspended following what many are calling a racist assault on Caitlin Clark, one of the sport's rising stars. This is no ordinary foul, no simple scuffle on the court. The gravity of the situation is immense, and it's taking the conversation far beyond basketball. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Alyssa Thomas has always been a force to be reckoned with. She's known for her fierce competitiveness, sharp elbows, and a laser focus that borders on intimidating. Anyone who's ever seen her play can attest to the fact that she doesn't hold back. There's a certain physicality she brings that most players would rather avoid, and her reputation as a hard-nosed player is well earned. She's someone who, when the ball is in play, takes no prisoners. But this time, it seems that her intensity may have crossed a line, and now she's paying the price. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, is the type of player who's managed to capture the imagination of fans with her exciting style and knack for the dramatic. She's got range, swagger, and a certain confidence that borders on cocky, but she backs it up with results. Clark doesn't shy away from the spotlight, and she's become something of a phenom in her own right. Her competitive spirit is undeniable, and she has a knack for getting under her opponent's skin. It's no surprise that the combination of these two fiery personalities would lead to some friction, but few could have predicted things would escalate to this level. The game was tight, as anyone would expect with two such powerful athletes going head-to-head. Tensions were running high, with both teams trading leads, and the physicality of the game was only intensifying as the clock wound down. In one particular play, Clark was doing what she does best, navigating the defense, breaking ankles, and making her way to the hoop when Thomas decided to make a statement. She didn't just foul Clark. She fouled her with a level of aggression that went beyond the usual rough play. The hit left Clark on the ground, visibly shaken and clearly rattled. As if the foul itself wasn't enough to set off alarm bells, what happened next took things to an entirely different level. In the heat of the moment, Thomas was caught hurling what has been described as a racial slur toward Clark. This wasn't just about a hard play. This was personal. What should have been a fierce, competitive moment turned ugly, with emotions boiling over and tempers flaring on the court. The referees, caught off guard by the sudden escalation, were quick to intervene, but the damage had already been done. The suspension of Alyssa Thomas for her actions has sent shockwaves throughout the sports community. This is a player who's built her career on toughness and grit, but now she's being branded with an entirely different reputation. While some have rushed to her defense, citing the intensity of the game and the fact that tempers often flare in the heat of competition, others have been quick to condemn her actions. Racism has no place in sports, they say, and they're not wrong. The implications of this event go far beyond the court. For Caitlin Clark, this incident is likely to be a defining moment in her career. While she's already proven herself to be a future star of the game, this altercation has cast her in a different light. She's now not just a player but a symbol of something larger, someone who, by no fault of her own, was dragged into a situation that speaks to the larger issues of race and sportsmanship in basketball. How she responds to this will be critical to her legacy, and all eyes are on her to see how she moves forward from here. The media has had a field day with this story, as you'd expect. It's not every day that two of the game's brightest stars find themselves embroiled in a controversy like this. Every sports talk show, every podcast, every social media platform has lit up with discussions about what happened, why it happened, and what it means for the future. The debate isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about race, respect, and the boundaries of acceptable behavior in competitive sports. Fans are split down the middle, with some expressing outrage at Thomas, while others suggest that Clark, with her trash-talking ways, might have provoked the incident. It's a messy situation, and one that doesn't have an easy resolution. Coaches, teammates, and players across the league have been forced to reckon with what this event means for the culture of the sport. Basketball, like all professional sports, thrives on passion and intensity, but this has been a stark reminder that there are lines that shouldn't be crossed. No matter how intense a rivalry gets, there are certain behaviors that can't be excused or brushed aside. The incident has sparked a broader conversation about the responsibilities athletes have, not just as competitors, but as role models. The suspension is, of course, a significant punishment for Thomas, but it's not just about the games she'll miss. It's about the stain this will leave on her career. A player who was once known for her toughness is now being viewed in a different, much less flattering light. This kind of label is hard to shake. Thomas has always carried herself with an aura of invincibility, but this incident shows that even the most formidable players can fall from grace. Whether or not she'll be able to recover from this, both professionally and personally, is a question that only time will answer. It's important to note that Thomas is not someone who's been known for this kind of behavior in the past. In fact, she's largely been respected as a veteran presence, a leader on and off the court. That's what makes this incident all the more shocking. It's not as if this was part of some long-standing feud between the two players. No one saw this coming, and now everyone is left wondering what caused her to lash out in such a way. Was it frustration? Was it something Clark said? Or was this just a momentary lapse in judgment that spiraled out of control? Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, has handled the situation with a level of grace that many have admired. She's not someone who shies away from the spotlight, but in this case, she's chosen to let her game do the talking. While others have been quick to offer their opinions, Clark has remained relatively quiet, focused on what she does best, playing basketball. There's a certain irony in the fact that, while Thomas is now being scrutinized, Clark has come out of this situation with even more fans rallying behind her. If anything, this incident has only elevated her profile, adding to the growing legend of Caitlin Clark. As for the league, this incident has forced officials to take a hard look at the conduct of its players. The suspension of Thomas was swift, a clear signal that this kind of behavior won't be tolerated. But it also raises questions about how these situations can be prevented in the future. The league can't afford to have its stars involved in such controversies. It's bad for the brand, bad for the fans, and bad for the game itself. There will no doubt be discussions behind closed doors about how to handle these kinds of incidents moving forward. The goal will be to maintain the intensity and passion that makes basketball so exciting, without allowing it to devolve into something ugly. While this story is far from over, one thing is clear. This incident between Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark has left a lasting mark on the sport. It's a reminder that no matter how talented or accomplished a player may be, they're still human. They're prone to mistakes, to moments of poor judgment, just like the rest of us. The difference is that their mistakes happen on a much bigger stage, with millions of eyes watching. Alyssa Thomas's suspension for the racist assault on Caitlin Clark has become more than just a news headline. It's sparked conversations that go beyond basketball. It's challenged fans, players, and the league to think about what kind of sport they want to see. How will the game evolve from here? Will this be a wake-up call for athletes everywhere? Only time will tell. But for now, the spotlight is on Alyssa Thomas, and not in the way she would have hoped. The question of redemption will linger, but the stain of this moment will not easily be erased. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.